It's been 50 years since the monsters first graced grocery stores.
It's been quite some time. It's an anniversary year.
And it's been several years since we've done a Dark Spooniverse entry on this channel. So now we've done all of our mascots, but now it's time for a new cereal that came out this year.
Exactly.
Monster Mash. Here on Screen to Screen, we're turning Monster Mash the cereal into a movie.
I hope every time we say Monster Mash, you have, it's the Monster Mash.
That sounds like one wing angel, what you just did there. Monster Mash. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Scream to Scream.
Ooh.
I'm Andrew, and this is Chris.
Hello.
We've been planning this series for a while, and we always plan to have an Avengers collaboration movie where they all come together. General Mills has given us the cereal we needed to complete our series, or I should say, complete the first phase of our series.
Yeah, and the real challenge is we have to make this movie better than the cereal, which tastes exactly like blueberry. Because
there's the thing I think we should get right into. What is the Avengers level threat here?
Yeah, that's the big one. Like,
now we can't combine different cereal universes together.
That would have been the easy one. Would be like, Tony the Tiger's the villain, or like another company.
See, that's what I'm thinking. What if it's a thinly veiled reference to Tony the Tiger? What if the bad guy is this like big ferocious buff tiger?
Right.
Like, and we never really, say Kellogg's. We don't ever say Frosted Flakes, but like we all know. We're watching this and we know what they're doing.
What if spooky bland name versions of them start showing up? Bottom shelf bagged cereal versions of them start showing up.
We could have some sort of like evil cereal company. Maybe the CEO is a tiger.
It could be a tiger man.
He's like
He's either a were-tiger or he's some sort of genetic monstrosity.
Because he can't just be a tiger man, because this takes place in the real world and that doesn't happen. He is the CEO, Anthony the tiger.
Anthony the leopard. Anthony the panther man.
I really feel like it's time for two things in the cereal universe. We need a female mascot.
Oh, we definitely need a female
they're all dudes.
That's true.
And the other thing is, we got monster cereals. They come out in October. There's no pumpkin spice flavor? What are you doing?
Like, it's weird that we have pumpkin spice everything, but the monster Halloween fall-themed cereals haven't done it yet.
So my solution is Bride of Pumpkinstein.
I like it. I mean, the easy way to do it is, you have the Act 1, everyone has to assemble, you're gathering the players, you're introducing the threat. Act 2 is about them bashing against that wall, realizing they can't overcome this challenge.
Right.
So they need an edge, and like that's where you make the new character. And like the Bride of Pumpkinstein.
Oh, when you say make, you mean literally make?
Literally make.
Okay.
They're gonna make the Bride of Pumpkinstein.
Okay. Why are we calling her the Bride then? It sounds very Kill Bill.
It is very Kill Bill. I mean,
we could lean into that.
We could lean into it. We could lean into that.
Okay, what do you think? Like that's her aesthetic. She's like got like the yellow tracksuit there.
We could even we could go that hard, but I was more thinking like maybe instead of our characters making her, it could be a failed like if we go with the villains making bland name bad cereals that are like causing harm in the world. Like maybe they opened up with trying to make a pumpkin spice cereal and like that failed. So, like they created a monster instead and they locked it away.
Or maybe she's the one that got away.
Ooh, that's also good.
Like the other ones are like kept in some sort of laboratory, but she's the one that she escapes.
Yeah, she's a failure because she doesn't obey orders.
Right.
She doesn't like poisoning children with bad cereals that cost less and don't come in a cardboard box.
Her flavors were too good. Like what I feel like all of these monsters have some sort of like power, like they're the Avengers essentially in this movie. And you've got like a vampire's got vampire powers, like
turn into a bat.
All right. And then you've got like a ghost that can go through walls,
can do ghost stuff, and possess items.
What is the Bride? What is her? She could have the power of pumpkins,
I mean, the way I picture in my head is I'm not seeing a Frankenstein's monster. I'm seeing in the old Sleepy Hollow animated short, there's like the scene where it has a pumpkin for a head with flaming eyes.
Oh, you're thinking like a Headless Horseman.
I'm thinking like almost a Headless Horseman.
Interesting.
Like using the pumpkin for a head.
Yeah.
I don't think it's inappropriate for her to have like naturalistic powers, because like what's her body made of? It's not a human body, I assume. Maybe a scarecrow body, like twigs and twigs and
oh man, you're really taking this in a way I didn't expect, because in my mind I was just like, oh, it's Bride of Frankenstein, but she's pumpkin spice. But like, you're creating something like real new here.
I mean, all the monsters have a very unique look to them, and I want to make sure she pops.
You're right. Bride of Frankenstein is like a blank slate, really. I mean, she just looks like a person with just weird hair.
Yeah.
So like, we can introduce like scarecrow elements and like Headless Horseman stuff. Like, this is an interesting kind of thing here.
She could be the one that like seeks out General Mills and like says there's a threat. Like they're doing something bad, and like that'll be the call to action to assemble the Dark Spooniverse. Like, we could have the cold open of the movie be her breaking out of the laboratory. You get sneak peeks, but shadowy. Keeping them a secret. Like, you're seeing these like weird misshapen things in the background. What are they? You see them later. They're the evil Blandings.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I also like. I just thought if we'd all lean into like the Tarantino aspect. This is a revenge mission. Like, we're gonna get in there. We're gonna take them down. But the CEO, he's mine. So all right, if this is an Avengers level threat, maybe this is like a matter of world domination somehow.
That's what I'm thinking. Like either the cereal's poison or it's mind control elements.
I think mind control is good. I think for a kids movie, poison is too dark. Mind control, weirdly enough, is not. Could they be turned into through some sort of sorcery? Could they be turned into cereal? Like
oh god, the cereal's children,
or like.
Maybe they're being used as cheap labor. Like, he's just making them like Oompa Loompas.
Well, all right. Something I was trying to think of is like...
Oh, God, he's turning them into marshmallows.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking he's going to turn them into pumpkins, and that's why, like, pumpkin spice, Bride of Pumpkins...
Tragic backstory. She's the first.
Yeah, tragic backstory. Or I wasn't even thinking she was the first. She was, like, a soldier that saw, like, she's decided this isn't for her. She can't do this. She has the pumpkin powers, but she uses them for good.
We could open up with a human being, Black Widow-esque, breaking into this factory. Getting captured, and then like later on, like a mysterious pumpkin lady shows up to like warn people.
And you think she's like a bad guy for the first few times you see, because like the music implies that. And then she finally catches up with like Chocula or something, and you think Chocula is going to get like pumpkinized or whatever. And she's like, Chocula, I've come to talk with you. Where did everyone leave off? I think we have to remember. Chocula was in the 70s, and in our last in our episode, Chocula was in the 70s, but I think he got accepted by at least a small town, the Vanillas, the Van Helsing analog family. Maybe they can kind of play in there too. Maybe there's still a few of them have a little untrusting of these monsters.
Well, he was hanging out with like. It was like pre-teen Van Helsing descendant.
Right, or vanilla, the vanilla descendant.
Vanilla. We could pick up with him and the kid on an adventure. Like, he's helping out with his...
She would be like 63.
53 or 63.
She should be like in her 60s. She could be like, she could be working for General Mills at this point.
I mean, that... The thing is, there's a lot of legwork. That if we could do it off screen, all the better. So like, having at least one of these characters already working with General Mills would be really helpful.
And I think we should say, if you haven't just watched the episodes like we have, General Mills is a character, not just
the brand.
The brand. Yeah. General Mills is like the Nick Fury of this universe. We've got Frankenberry, who we last left off in the 1800s, but he's immortal.
Yep, they're all immortal.
I think he was in Europe, but not. He's probably in America now, or I don't know. Maybe they have to go find him. We've got Fruit Brute, who I think was like a teen in the 90s.
Yep, 90s teen. So at this point,
like 30s, like mid 30s, early 40s, and we've got Yummy Mummy, who is again an immortal mummy who's just like a surfer dude.
I imagine like he's the fun character. He's just out there having a good time.
Yeah, he could be anywhere. He's like traveling the world.
Yeah.
So Boo Berry is
it was the 80s. It was specifically about helping a kid become a good salesman.
Yeah. I mean, the movie ended up being about like, money isn't everything, be nice to people.
Yeah. I mean, that could be not a bad starting point even, is if any of them have a literal cereal, it's going to be the kid who grew up to be the best salesman and also has a conscience. So like,
yeah.
They have an environmentally employee owned, like one of those like, wow, this company sounds great to work for.
What if it's like all ghost owned?
It could be all ghost owned.
Like all of Boo Berry's friends from like the other side are like
every employee that dies gets to work at the factory for the rest of their
that sounds awful.
Yeah, that's like that's a dark movie.
So grim.
Boo Berry could be an actual cereal in the universe, and that could be the first hit. Like they could blow up the factory, the villains. Boo Berry could be attacked.
I just thought of a phrase I feel like we have to use in this movie.
All right.
Serial killer.
Ooh. Oh, man, yeah.
I mean...
Boo Berry could, like, limp in. There's a serial killer on the loose.
It's like someone's been taking down mascots. Maybe Pumpkinstein is the serial killer until halfway through the movie when you find out that she has not been killing cereal mascots. She's been saving them or whatever.
She's been trying. Like something went wrong at the Boo Berry factory.
Yeah. But I think that's kind of fun to have this like threat halfway through the movie turn to like another one of the team.
Yeah.
Because Boo Berry assembles the team, and maybe he's got the connections though. I figured
I mean that makes sense.
He's
like
a salesman
because he's literally a cereal mascot. General Mills probably found him pretty early, gave him his card. So Boo Berry knows who to call, and like that's where it starts our Act 1 of like we gotta assemble the team, and General Mills has like the files.
Yeah.
It's like I know someone.
I've been keeping tabs on these guys.
I got a man. He's a little immature, but he can get the job done. He's been all over the globe, and he knows some people.
We need someone who can turn into a bat. We need someone, like they're very specific things they need.
We're gonna need someone who's able to infiltrate an environment.
Yeah, is this a heist movie?
We need aerial reconnaissance.
Maybe it's a heist movie.
It
they
could
gotta
be
break in, and meanwhile they gotta avoid the serial killer.
So I guess Act 1, establishing the threat, assembling the team. Act 2 is we have the team assembled, doing the heist plan of like we got to break in, we got to figure out what's going on, we got to stop them. They're doing something bad in there. There's this big scary factory that we've traced the activity of the serial killer back to. And at the end of Act 2, like that goes horribly wrong. Like the reveal of the bland names takes them by surprise. They're at their lowest point when they get beaten. And then, of course, you have our new pumpkin friend who will come in and help them out. And they rally for that third act where they defeat the villain and take down these bland names and save the children. I mean, we can even open up with, like, store shelves. And kids are taking literally the Boo Berry cereal off the shelves and be like, Mommy, I want this one. Halloween! Halloween! And it's like, all right, get your Boo Berry. And, like, further down, there's another kid, like, I want Boo Berry! And the mom's, like, reaching out for it, but then she stops, and she looks down. It's like, what's this?
Oh.
Why don't we get Gooberry? There's Gooberry here. Oh, Mom! Come on, it's cheaper. We're gonna get Gooberry. And you cut to, we got our factory where the Boo Berry ghost's hanging out with his former child wards. They're reminiscing about their good times, how well the company's doing.
Right.
And then the power gets cut.
Okay.
It's dark.
Yeah.
What's going on? A power outage? Security, what's going on? People are being cut out in their security feed.
Yeah.
Like, there's something in the... It's like, it's a little scary for a children's movie right now. Like, they have to escape, the factory's on fire, it's blowing up, and it's just like, oh my god, what happened? And like, a bolt of lightning, and they see on the hill next to the burning building, the silhouette lit by fire of a horrifying pumpkin monster.
Okay.
Rearing back on a horse.
Yeah. And at this point, we are assuming that this pumpkin monster is the one that caused the destruction, but is in fact
was here maybe to try and stop it, to save things, but got there too late.
Yeah.
But now we've established the miscommunication about the villain.
I like it, and I assume they call it the serial killer. That's the code name.
Yeah, Boo Berry could even be like, oh my god, it's a serial killer.
Well, I was thinking that Boo Berry goes to General Mills about it, and General Mills is like, yeah, the serial killer.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like that.
We've known about this entity for quite some time.
We've been tracking their activity for the past 6 months.
Leading up to Halloween, it's been getting stronger.
Yeah, more attacks on more cereal factories around the world. 6 months ago, weird. That's when our sales started dipping because of these damn bland names, these bottom shelf boxless cereals, and like we start the assembling the team experience there, and like we could have those fun scenes where it's we're gonna need someone that could do X, Y, and Z because we're pretty sure pin on the map. This is where the problem's coming from. We've traced a lot of activity back to what are we gonna call the evil cereal company? Like, we know the I'm going with Bill Bobcat for now, but like Rotten Apple Co.
Yeah.
We here at Rotten Co. want us to get all the money.
They don't put vitamins and minerals in their cereal.
They take them out.
They take them out.
And then they sell those. Like, Boo Berry goes to General Mills. He finds out about General Mills through his connection with the business girl who has probably been reached out to by General Mills. He's like, I know you have a ghost in here. It's like, what are you talking about? I just made up Boo Berry. He's my imagination.
Right. It's a mascot.
Yeah, just slides a card across the table. When the time comes, you let the ghost know how to find me.
Maybe this was an end credit sequence.
It'd be a really nice post-credit scene. Yeah. And all of the movies should have stingers, but we haven't really covered those stingers.
I mean, that could be a stinger for Yummy Mummy. Yeah. It's like that adventure's over, and now we're seeing, oh wait, Boo Berry Factory? What's this?
Exactly. Yeah. Let's assume that was a stinger in Yummy Mummy. Just because, like, there should have been stingers, like a setting up each movie coming up, and that was the last one before they get together. So, she pulls out the card, and everyone's like, oh, that happened in the last movie! Right. Boo Berry meets up with General Mills, and General Mills and Boo Berry together go to get to Yummy Mummy.
Yeah.
That way you could have, like, the fun, like, General Mills, hey, bro, come on! He's hanging out, he's in a beanbag chair, he's just, like, having a good time.
Yeah.
I got a job for you, Mummy. Please, come on, call me Yummy. I'm not calling you Yummy.
I refuse to call you Yummy.
I refuse to call you Yummy. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm delicious.
Imagine, like, Nick Offerman now. It's like, ooh. I refuse to call you Mummy.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Nick Offerman is such a good General Mills.
Should we save Chocula for last?
Chocula, like, might be the best one for last, because out of all the characters who might be a little jaded and a little, like, alone, I feel like he's the one that would be that. Because, it was the 70s we last hung out with him, and he's probably, like, the kid he hung out with probably moved on at this point. Yeah. He doesn't want the world to know about him. People are afraid of vampires.
Though could we give this everything you're describing, like, could we give that to Frankenberry?
We definitely can. Either one of them could have that.
Because, like, what has he done since the 1800s? Like,
that's true.
He may have had to, like, hide or something.
I mean, he's essentially our Hulk analog. He probably is in hiding.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. or actually, I feel like Fruit Brute's the Hulk analog.
He does transform.
I imagine him as, like, someone who works with kids, like a mentor or something, where he's just like, I just feel like, he was a bully, and then he learned to be, like, helpful to people and stuff. And I feel like if we, like, extrapolate that, I just see him as like a coach or something.
Yeah.
Like, nothing huge, because we can't give everyone these, like, ridiculously.
Yeah, it's one movie where we have to be somewhat picky.
But maybe he's just like a great dad, and he's like, coaches Little League and has a great life, and, like, this is a threat to that perfect life.
Right. There's so many ways you can go with Fruit Brute. I had a picture in my head of him just permanently stuck in Fruit Brute mode, because that is the transition.
Yeah.
So, like, you walk in his house and there's, like, chew toys everywhere, and he's basically like a man dog.
I mean, he might be like Professor Hulk or whatever they call him.
Yeah, Professor Hulk. But, like, that's the thing you could save for a future movie. In this one, we keep him a human, like, he maybe runs a daycare or a children's self-defense club or something.
Yeah. I was thinking he's like a sensei or something.
Yeah, it's the right direction, because former bully, you want to be the kind of person that's, like, preventing bullying now.
It's like Cobra Kai.
Like Cobra Kai, exactly.
What does Frankenberry do?
Good question. What does Frankenberry do?
Maybe he's...
We're going to need some muscle.
I mean, I know we already established his character, but he could have been like a scientist because he's made of machine parts. I don't know. But we kind of established that he's not. He's just some guy. But you know what? Hey, you know what? He's had a long time.
Yeah.
Last we left of the 1800s, he could have, like, learned science.
There's also... If you look at all of them, only one of these is a human that got, like, warped into a fruit or cereal monster hybrid, and that is him. So maybe that's what they need him for. Like, he could be the last one they go to. It's like, I heard rumors of a bogman that was turned into a cereal monster.
Right, okay.
We've had sightings of him, like, throughout the English countryside.
And that could be sort of, like, the tenuous link between Frankenberry and Pumpkinstein.
Yeah.
It's like they can relate that way.
We could even have the science that they did on that farm. Well, that was years back.
Oh,
that was what was used to make Bride of Pumpkinstein.
That the science of putting a bunch of steampunk parts in a bog.
In a bog and hitting it with lightning.
Bill the Bobcat is a descendant of the cranberry salesman.
Yes. You can have a moment where they're like, here's our targets. It's this big cereal company, and someone's like, what's that in the back there? And it's like, it looks like a pumpkin patch, but are those pumpkins floating in some sort of bog?
A pumpkin bog?
Is that a pumpkin bog? I don't understand.
Yeah, this of course referencing going back to one of our earlier videos, is that there was the bad guy in the Frankenberry is a cranberry salesman.
Exactly, he had cranberry bogs, and cranberry bog science is what brought us to the strawberry bog that creates Frankenberry.
All right, that works.
My bobcat bog went wrong, and I became half man, half bobcat.
That's pretty good. I was in the back of my mind thinking about maybe that's what happened. He's trying to grow a crop of bobcat.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just enchanted bog water he can inject. Just I don't know. We'll get to that. Maybe Bobcat is just a nickname, like Bobcat Goldthwait.
I was gonna say, and he's played by Bobcat Goldthwait.
He should be.
Yeah, he definitely should.
He definitely should be.
We assemble all these characters, right? Mm-hmm. We got Booberry, we got Yummy Mummy, we got Fruit Brute. They find fucking Frankenberry. Oh, his name is so hard for my brain for some reason. And they do some science, and it's like, wow, this is shockingly similar to things that we've been finding in our research and reports and our espionage on this company. And they try to put together their little mission, and they keep on butting heads. They keep on arguing. They can't work as a team.
Right.
They lack leadership. They don't have their Captain America.
Right.
They need their Captain Count Chocula for this one.
Yeah.
And so they have to go and get him. Maybe they try and get him once, and he turns them down.
Because... I had sort of the idea for me. I was just thinking they build this whole thing. I was like, he hasn't talked to anyone in years, and they get to him. It's like, we're assembling. I'm in.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Just so into it. We get the team assembled, and maybe that's when the reveal of maybe the whole time. While they're assembling, they're outrunning the serial killer, and it's at the halfway mark where they're cornered by a mysterious force of the serial killer.
Yeah,
and that's when the reveal, Bride of Pumpkinstein, she reveals her backstory. Mm-hmm. She's actually an ally. She's actually been helping them this whole time.
Yeah.
All the close calls they've had, whatever they've been facing.
They think they're having a car chase with her chasing them, but she's actually running other people off the road.
Right, exactly.
All of the collateral damage you usually see in a chase scene.
Right.
In this case, it wasn't collateral. It was all very carefully orchestrated.
Right, yeah. And she's the one with the inside info to infiltrate.
Because every pumpkin whispers to her.
Yes,
she knows.
She could hear all the every pumpkin. Someone in the evil corporation brings a pumpkin into the office for decoration for Halloween. She could hear that.
All those jack-o'-lanterns. Hold on, let me patch into my pumpkin patch network of information. So before we have the reveal of Pumpkinstein, they have their team assembled, and they go on their mission.
Yeah.
And when they get there, they were completely unprepared. The enemy was ready for them. They get beaten up. We have a fun reveal of some bland name monsters that look like horrible abominations of each of our various characters. It's kind of the Dark Avengers almost of our Avengers, these evil versions.
Yeah.
And they lose. Our intrepid team gets captured.
Yeah.
And thrown in a cell, which is going to fill with bog mutagen in a few minutes. And he's like, soon you'll all be just like me, half man, half cereal monster. It's like, oh god. And they have a guard guarding their cell, which gets taken out in the shadows. They don't even notice it happened, but we see it. Yeah. We see that the guard got taken down. And they're waiting there to die, and that's when Pumpkinstein walks in, and they're like, oh god, it's a serial killer. This is it!
Yeah.
And that's the big reveal. She lets them out of the cell, and you have that fun, I've been helping you all along. What are you talking about? Flashback to them misunderstanding each of the fun action set pieces we had before this. And now with her as part of the team, already in our Temple of Darkness here, they band together and they fight their way to our big badge. We have our CGI nightmare battle that is just a bunch of fucking robot puppets flying in the sky fighting each other because it's a Marvel Act 3 ending.
Yeah. It sounds to me that what you've just pitched there is not in the midpoint, but like the lowest point to Act 3 bit.
Yes.
Which sounds great. We just probably need to think of like what a midpoint is now. Because like that sounds like the way that sounds good.
Oh, thank you.
Because then now it sounds like we're keeping that serial killer mystery a bit longer.
A little bit longer.
Maybe the midpoint is like a close call.
It could either be a close call or it could be the big reveal of like it is bog-related technology and like
okay.
We suspected as much, Frankenberry, but like this is way worse than we thought. This is almost exactly like what happened to you. I don't know if that's a big enough moment though.
Maybe a good midpoint is like they couldn't get one of them to join the team, and maybe it is Frankenberry.
Okay,
and he shows up in the midpoint. Maybe like the great grandson of his friend is slowly turning into a pumpkin or something, or whatever we decided is going to be.
They come to him. He doesn't believe them. He refuses the call to action. And we follow him as he goes back to his origin point. He goes back to that old family farm, which hasn't been touched for a while. They've moved on to greener pastures. Right. And he finds out that these people are right. Like, it's been ransacked. All the technology's been stolen, all the secret documents. Like, he goes down to, like, the secret cellar, completely ransacked. And he finds a little evidence that points toward maybe this is related to the descendants of the bad Bogman.
The other part of Act 2 is them infiltrating, the place of origin of where all this nefarious stuff is happening. It's not just like the headquarters, they have like a secret place. And that's when, the serial killer reveals herself to be Bride Pumpkinstein. She joins the group. She's been helping them this whole time. All those close calls were not caused by her, but like they were saved by her.
Yeah.
And now with her, it's with the inside information, with her pumpkin powers, all the team is like, assembled now. And now it's time to, like, I don't know, do they do some punches and stuff?
The villain's plan is laid bare. These cereals leach nutrients out of children and turn them into, like, mindless little... They go black and white, sepia tone. Like, they lose all their lust for life and they become obedient little children. And that's what the bad guy wants. Like, yes, a world without laughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a children's movie villain.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And Act 3, of course, is a ticking clock. It's like, oh god, he's gonna flip the switch and like all the cereal's gonna turn gross and bad. We gotta stop him.
Something. He's gonna switch the water supply to bog water.
There you go.
It's like the very same bog water that transformed your Frankenberry.
I mean, we can go with the old Marvel standard of like at the top of his building is a pointy little spire with a ball on top, and it's like, when I flip the switch, this will radiate energy that will turn all children that have ate my cereal, which is a lot of children, by the way, into my mind-controlled little goblins.
All right, I think I got this. All right. So this is very Frankenberry centric. Like, I think we really lean into this. And so this guy has been for generations. He's been studying this. So what he's been doing, what he's already done, is he's put bog water in the water supply. Okay. Everyone's drunk this. Now, so far, nothing's happened. But he flips the switch. It's bog water plus electricity. That creates the monsters.
Ooh, bog water, electricity, and the flavor.
Oh, yeah.
So the cereal.
And the flavor. So all the kids who are eating the cereal, so the combination of those three things, he's been planning this for a long time. And maybe that's the mystery that they're figuring out as they go along. As they're assembling the team, they're finding out things, they're talking to people. And that's where, like, they finally figure it out. It's like, yes, that's right. That's what I've been doing.
You figured it out. That's right.
Slow clap. And so they have to use the power of cereal to stop it.
They all have to work together to get through various...
Yeah.
Oh, we can't get through this door. I'll turn into chocolate mist. Blah, blah, blah. Like, they all use their various powers. They use teamwork. They stop the villain right before it's too late. Celebration. The threat is resolved. You have General Mills saying, you know what, I want you I want you guys to all stick around and be a team because the world's gonna face more threats like this.
General Mills has some sort of like cheeky line about it's like, now if you excuse me, I have to go talk to a rabbit.
Yeah.
You know,
that'd be fun.
Well, thanks for watching Screen to Screen. If you've got any other ideas for any other things to turn into movies or whatever, let us know in the comments. Until next time,
stay spooky.
We never said Monster Mash in the movie.
Damn it!
Should we have said that?
The last line of the movie is like, that's what I call a Monster Mash. High five, freeze frame in the air, credits roll.
I like it.